You're not a baddie. You have a demon. Rewind, Emily. They're not going to like that one. Hi. Hello. It's called the Jezebel spirit. And I used to have it. And a lot of the world actually has it and operates through it. So you think you don't struggle with lust, but yet you have the Jezebel spirit. You're feeding the lust. Okay? Thinking it's normal to barely wear any clothes coming from someone who used to have this spirit, okay? To the max. Like model bikinis, lingerie. I used to get lip filler. I used to wear the lash extensions. Listen, you are fearfully and wonderfully made in God's image, and this spirit attaches to you. One, nowadays, from spending way too much time on social media, you're comparing yourself all day long, forgetting that you are not made to be anyone else, to look like anyone else. You don't need all the excess external stuff to feel good about yourself, and you know the spirit's getting really bad when it's no longer how you just carry yourself, filled with pride, thinking, oh, I'm that girl, I'm better than everyone else, so she'll never be me. That's the whole point. That's why God didn't make 1 million of you or 8 billion of this person. He made 8 billion different people fearfully and wonderfully in his image. Why do we look outside and we see the beauty in everything, the flowers, the trees, the lakes, the beaches, but we don't see it in ourselves when we look in the mirror? It's because we're looking at our phones more than we're looking in the mirror. And before you say, oh, you're supposed to not be looking in the mirror, that's all vanity. That's not my point. My point is you aren't seeing your beauty when you look in the mirror because you're constantly looking at your phone.
This is honestly so true. I feel like a lot of the times when we are in the baddie community, we don't want to hear things like this because it sounds very Seventh-day Adventist. When I was in the quote-unquote community, I don't know if that's the best way to put it, but I was demonically oppressed. It was not something that I actually enjoyed being a part of. It was something that I had to do because I felt like that is what I needed to be validated. If you look at just the secular music scene, everything that they're singing about, for example, Cardi B, Beyonce, don't you find it interesting that the only thing that they sing about is hurt, being hurt, chasing a man, and being brokenhearted by a man? Don't you find it interesting that the only thing that Beyonce, Cardi B, I don't even remember all their names, but you guys know what I mean, secular artists, don't you find it interesting that all they even talk about is being hurt by a man? Time and time and time again. Don't you find it interesting that things that they are praising or saying that they're being praised for by men is the objectification of their bodies, the objectification of their beauty, or the fact that they have to undergo plastic surgery to achieve a look in which they will be desirable. And it's always the part of the body that is the least of them. The very fact that men in the world are attracted to these women for the least part of their bodies is a curse. There is this mentor or teacher of mine, she goes by Tiffany Buckner. She always says that you can tell the curses that are being released in the earth by the things that the people that are in the world are attracted by. So the very fact that when you look into the world system, and you see all of these men attracted to things that are very, very much demonic, attracted to the least part of women, objectifying the least part of women, the parts where poop comes out, is insane. That should tell you that it's a curse. The fact that you're not attracted to a woman because of her mind, because of what she has to offer, but because of part where feces come out. Don't you find that interesting? I find it extremely interesting. And I do know that the Lord does too. Sometimes I myself have struggled with sexual sin before I came to the Lord as well. I was someone who was very promiscuous. I was someone who was being herded into the direction of becoming a seductress, because of herds and voice that I had. I was dealing with a lot of abandonments, a lot of rejection, a lot of neglect, and I felt like the best way that I could prove that I was worthy of receiving a lot of attention. I felt like the way that I needed to prove that I was worthy of receiving adoration was by receiving worship. And so, for a lot of years in my life, I went on a mission that I can now see that I was doing, but back then I was oblivious to the fact that I was literally, if the Lord had not snatched me up, trying to keep it cute, but I definitely would have. Because I was prostituting myself. I was prostituting the beauty that the Lord had given me for my own gain and for my own needs. Thank you, Jesus. So if you're watching this video and you feel a little bit annoyed at the fact that we're saying that you have a demon or that you're being oppressed by demons, if you're in this lifestyle, just from someone who has been there, I'm telling you that it's true. And you have to seek the Lord so that He can heal that void in your heart, that gigantic void that your father won't fill. The man that you're looking at to be your new father figure won't fill it either. He's the only one that is able to do that. And so I just hope that this wakes someone up, and also to stop listening to secular music as a whole, because that is the driver to your sin. Just cut it out.